Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snowfell, a Temple of Aphrodite. I am Evangeline, and I will be your host and oracle this evening. I am going to just kind of jump right into it. Nothing really to say. I We'll see how things go. Last time I hardly used the personality, my 12 personality type system. I barely used it. Um, I will, I guess I will talk about it as it comes up. Um, I was going to give like a warning to some of the particular personality energies that aren't necessarily welcomed here at the temple, but they seem to come to the temple either way. I think we're just gonna jump right into it. Um, yeah. I am going to read off for our visitor today. If you're watching this and you resonate with the reading, then you are our visitor today. If you do not resonate with our reading, then you are one of the oracles today. You're a fellow oracle of mine, and you are just consider yourself simply enjoy basking in the atmosphere of the temple. I dropped a lot of cards today. I think I'm going to keep all of them. Yeah. So, yeah, while you're watching, yeah, again, if this video is not for, if you are not the visitor asking if you're not asking the questions and you're an oracle and you're here to add to the frequency of the guidance, I suppose. Dropping a lot of stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna chill and see who comes by today. I think next time I'll play some music for us. Some basking music, if you will. Um, I would love to do, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. I'm not gonna say them all because, you know, it was just, I like a surprise, so I hope that you do too. Either way, I'll maintain it as a surprise. Um, what do we have here? Who is visiting us today? Who is seeking our aphrodisial advice? Maybe I'll start talking about, since we're giving aphrodisial advice, I might talk about whether our visitor is looking for guidance from Aphrodite Pandemonia or Aphrodite Urania. That's going to be dopamine and oxytocin, respectively. So we'll see which one they want to talk to. If they do not want to speak to Aphrodite Natural, I guess that's what you might call her. And that'll be strictly serotonin. And then we'll have this as our visitor today. All right. So it looks as though, sorry. We are going to be visited today by the Four of Wands. And that is going to be, it looks so good in this lighting. That is going to be, I believe this is a couple or a very welcoming person. This could be a social personality type. Now, this is very interesting. Last time I just appended as obsessive, but it was kind of like all over the place. Now that can happen within a particular group. You can embody a lot of different energies within your particular group. Um, and wow, that's really dawning on me. Um, yeah, um, well, I haven't said what the groups are for the 12 personalities. This is one time I didn't go over the little intro I normally do, but in my 12 personality type system, all 12 category, I mean, all 12 personalities are separated into 4 groups. So each has 3 groups. Um, Last time, as an example, we spoke with someone who resided in the romantic resistant group. And so it was moving a little bit in and out of narcissist and obsessive. They can also move into antisocial. You can see this if you back a narcissist in a corner, they can lash out. And if usually their tool is going to be trying to emotionally manipulate you in some way, trying to get you to see them as like the victim, or yeah, basically the victim. But if that doesn't work, then they can go into like antisocial mode or obsessive mode, where it depends on a few things. Just them personally. But they can either be physically violent, or they can be strategically obsessed. It's a little bit redundant, but they could be almost stalkery, and I would say that would be obsessive energy in that particular case. But you can switch from personality to personality from within your group if you're romantic as well. That could be borderline histrionic and social. So at times you could seem like really really social, and then at other times you could be very like attention seeking, and then at other times you could be very like worried about rejection, or what's it called, abandonment. You can flex between these things. So I think it's best for you to identify which group you're in, and then you can flex amongst those energies. The other 2 energies would be unromantic, and that's going to be paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal. I think that's really easy to see them go back and forth. The schizoid is highly representative of being isolative. Paranoid is being, kind of like its namesake, trademarked by its need to be exceptionally preventative. And the schizoid also kind of shares both of those characteristics, but they have a little bit of a conspiracy theory going along with that. The romantic desperate can also do this same thing, and I think that we think about that a lot when it comes to attachment styles. The romantic desperate is all of the attachment styles, basically. The stable attachment style is represented here as oppressed. And so that can be very kind of like whatever you want to do. Dependent and avoidant can also do the same thing, but the dependent is going to be like, whatever you want to do, I'll help you do. And the avoidant is a little bit, whatever you want to do, I'll be back later kind of energy. It's like whatever you want to do, and I'll try not to interrupt that for the avoid. That's how their process goes. I'm trying to clear up that thought process, and I feel like it's very heavy on, I want you to do whatever you want to do. So if I think that something about me is going to prevent that, I'm going to try to hide that from you. Yeah. I shouldn't have shuffled, but I did. So here we are. Maybe I needed to. Maybe I should have. I don't know. Divine intervention, I suppose. Our main character, yes, like we said before, is going to be the Four of Wands. So this is going to be like, I'm getting social energy, but this could be a couple. And the reason why they are visiting us today is because of the 10 of Pentacles. Now, it was before, I did see what it was before, it was the 3 of Pentacles, so still Pentacle energy. So they're coming together for like this is interesting, like success, some type of success. Yeah, that's interesting. Why would you come to the temple of Aphrodite for that? I definitely think that Zeus, Hera, Hermes, or Hades would be a good one for money. Um, but the Elder of Pentacles, instead of, I call all the kings elders, because I try not to do a gendered type of thing, but it's gonna be heavy conscientiousness. So heavy organization. Like this is someone who's like trying to in love organization. This is like how to manage their love life. Yeah, how to manage your love life. I think the same thing applies to the Three of Pentacles that I saw earlier that you may or may not have seen. I don't know if you caught that on camera or not. So they're here asking for how to organize their social life, how to better their social life, how to progress in their social life, I suppose. And which is kind of rather broad. I mean, you could also speak to Dionysus about that. You could have. As far as a background goes, or an upbringing, or a little bit of background of the reason why you're here, we have the Hierophant. So that's giving me a little bit like I just got married type of energy. And as far as the aspiration goes, it's the Tower. So this is like, well, maybe this is giving me a little bit of advice. Like I just got married and it's not working out. Yeah, I just got married and it's not really working out the way I thought it would. I'm looking for some advice. And so, as an oracle, we ask them, okay, what are your options here? And we like to have at least two options. Twos are very important for the Temple of Aphrodite. I was born on the 2nd, so twos. 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 Anyway, one option we have is going to be represented by, like, we'll say, one option that they're thinking of, like, kind of like past energy. Like, it's kind of giving me, I was thinking about doing some witchcraft. Okay, that's interesting. Was not expecting that. And yeah, they're thinking about doing like a love spell. That's interesting. And then with the Chariot, they're hoping that it's going to be rather successful, a love spell for success, or this is like kind of like this is kind of giving me a love spell to make my person the more perfect person. Now, as oracles, we don't do that. All right. Now you can definitely be an oracle and a sorceress or sorcerer. I don't think there is a non-gendered way to describe that. Magical physician, probably. You can be that as well, but I am not, and we don't do that here at the Temple of Aphrodite. The witchcraft is our being. That is the witchcraft. So we don't do that here. So if you are thinking about doing a love spell on someone, and you would think that we here at the Temple of Aphrodite would specialize in love spells. Well, we specialize in clarification of relationships. That's what we do. As oracles, that's what we do. Now, there's definitely magical physicians of Aphrodite. Yes, totally, totally. We just don't do that here. Nothing wrong. Well, as far as our morals go here in the Temple of Aphrodite, as oracles of Aphrodite, I would say, it's probably a better way to say that. We believe, because we can see kind of like the life path, we are here to respect it. It's kind of like we got access to seeing the goddess's great plan. and we are here to support it by allowing it to unfurl as it would. Um, so yeah, hopefully you didn't come here and ask me how you were going to do that. I have no idea. Um, Also, this particular love spell is a little bit of a changing love spell. There's a little confirmation of the waterfall in the background. Um, it's only active, or consider it like a fountain or a hot spring. Like, what's it called? When the water just shoots up every once in a while, like Old Faithful, kind of thing. Consider that noise that. Um, this is giving a little bit of changing the individual, and we don't do that here. Okay, here we promote you to change if you wish to, if you wish to. Other than that, we allow others to exist. We're trying to practice radical acceptance of personality, right? So with that being said, I'm going to ask, what is your other option here? And the other option is going to be represented by the Seven of Pentacles, which is struggle for abundance. Then we also have Nine of Swords, so this is struggle and suffer. And then we have the star at the top, is like kind of just wish. Sorry, I had to cover her. This is struggle and suffer and wish for the best. That is a very bleak. These are very bleak options, it seems, in my professional oracle opinion. Okay, so first, I guess I will say what the obstacle here. This lighting is great. Honestly, it looks great, but it hurts my head. I'm gonna put my glasses on. Okay, it changed the look a little bit, but I need a little bit of relief from this light, which is kind of like, why should I wish there was a way to change it. But it's definitely giving me a headache. Let's press on. I could put on some sunglasses. Anywho, let's just muster through this, and I'll figure out a new. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's try to dim it a little bit more here. So sorry. It's probably that was probably alarming. It's just so bright. So, oh, that's better. Still pretty good lighting. Okay. Oof. Let me just close my eyes for a second. Oh, I hope I don't mess up my eyebrows. I just did them. Luckily, I didn't put any eye makeup on today. Just need a little bit of a reset. Okay. That feels better. Yeah, that feels better. Still looking pretty good, I think. Oof. This is exactly why I do not work in an office. I cannot do those overhead lights. It just be beating the shit out of me. I don't know. I think my third eye is like maybe too open to process a whole bunch of light. I would do this kind of stuff in the dark. Like in person, I would prefer more candlelit type of lighting, but that looks so terrible on camera. I would love to kind of move my practice into a more like face-to-face type of situation, but that's for the future. I would normally ask, okay, what's the obstacle in doing option one? I could think of a few, but let's see what they say. is going to be represented by the Two of Wands and the three, or not the three, the Ace of Cups. So this is like, they're kind of feeling like maybe like they're feeling like an ethical strain there, and that's good judgment. That is good judgment. So I think we are talking with a social personality type that is going to be within the romantic personality type. And I'm going to say, what's the issue with option number 2? And again, I can think of a few issues there, but let's see what they say. It's going to be represented by Justice and the Adult of Cups. So this is someone who's like, I think there's like, I want it to be better, basically. They just want it to be better. That's the problem with doing option number 2. And this is very cute. This is a very meek type of questioning. Like, I just got married. It's turning out pretty awful. What should I do? I think that the number one issue that we would have here, well, whenever you're in a relationship and it's turning out bad, it's a suggestion of incompatibility. Yeah, incompatibility. And I feel like that's so interesting how people want to like kind of fix a relationship but not really, like, they don't want to admit that they made the wrong choice. And I think that's really funny. Not like haha funny, but a little bit like, yeah, you really did think. I mean, it's like, when you come to counseling or to an oracle, when you're looking for guidance, it's not the same thing as going to a witch or a warlock. It's not the same thing, we don't make things happen here. We just reveal the truth. We provide clarity. So first, I'm going to say that if your goal was to do a love spell to make like, not only, I guess this could be for the both of you, but it seems like you're looking for this person to be independent and caring. You're looking for a borderline individual, and hey, I can't blame you for that. But if they are not independent and caring, well, it sounds like they are lacking extroversion as well as agreeability. So they are likely going to be in the unromantic category, which makes a lot of sense since you're trying to do a love spell. And so they're likely going to be along the lines of either paranoid, schizoid, or schizotypal. Likely it's going to be a schizoid situation. Likely it's going to be a schizoid situation, in which they are, relatively pleasant, but they're rather slow moving, private, wanting to settle. They're not looking for excitement. And if you're social or any of the romantic ones, this can be very frustrating with you because there's a lot of energy in you that's not being exercised, especially together. You're both not being out there and like, what do I want to say? Shown. You're not being, witnessed. You're not a part of society. So that's going to upset your extroversion, and they don't want to do anything special or exceptionally romantic, either by request or by surprise. So yeah, so if you come here to speak with me, and an Oracle Aphrodite, I would say that you made the wrong choice. You married poorly. You might, and I think that's very interesting because people talk about a lot about like marrying well, for money or status or something like that, and like it will mean nothing. It will mean nothing if the personality types are not right. It will mean absolutely nothing. Which is, yeah, it sounds like that's what's happening here. It sounds like you're kind of like trapped in your own house, and every time you think of something good, it's kind of like shot down because they don't like doing that stuff. They just don't like doing that stuff. And what are we supposed to do about that? Give them a lobotomy? That's probably going to make it worse for this particular situation. Um, but let's pull some guidance cards so that I have something to talk about, I suppose. Besides, try again. I would end this relationship and try again. Personally. But I think that is really hard for people who haven't gotten a sneak peek of the goddess's divine, what's it called? Divine destiny, I suppose. Divine plan. If you haven't seen the goddess's divine plan, it's going to be hard for you to accept what you don't know. But when you do, and that's I think that's why people come to oracles and advisors and such, is so that they can, well, actually no, I feel like they do that so that they can fix the problem, but it's really so that you can see the problem, accept the problem, move on from the problem, which a lot of people have a hard time doing. They really do have a hard time accepting things and moving on, which is, I don't know, maybe that's just a gift of being an oracle that you can do that. Put that one there. Trust my intuition. Lots of repeats. So there might not be too much to say besides what I've already said. Which I wouldn't be surprised of, because again, besides, I mean, I would, there might be a Temple of Circe, I'm not sure. She might be a great person to talk to. There just are no sorceresses here at this Temple of Aphrodite, but there might be another. But again, Aphrodite doesn't tend to change people. She tends to pair people as they are. Cupid as well. I mean, Eros as well. Try not to use the Roman names because I hate the Romans, but Eros doesn't do that either. It's very much a pairing of your authentic self. This could be for what could seem like tragic reasonings or blessed reasonings. It's about the divine plan, honestly. Yeah, lots of repeats here. At the bottom of the deck for our advisory cards is going to be the Hermit. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a little bit like count your losses here. A lot of it's been a recurring event, or I've been getting a lot of people visiting the temple who need to accept things as they are, and it's really interesting because it's kind of like, you already knew that, didn't you? Again, and then like I feel like you came here anyway, and I feel like that's a little bit disrespectful because you're wasting my time at that point. If you already knew that if you already knew what to do, I mean, verification and all that. I guess I'm gonna try to be nice. I'm gonna try to be nice. I'm not that nice, but I am I'm gonna play nice. I'm gonna start with the High Priestess and Justice. It is giving It's giving you already know what to do. Be jibber jabbing away for people who already know the answer. Give me a challenge. But last time I said all that, and then I did come up with a pretty good, well, I did hear a pretty good question. So maybe we will again. We could do, I'm just looking at, it looks like for option 2, I would normally start with option 1, but with option 2, it seems like we have the 3 of Pentacles, like I was talking about before, and the Ace of Cups, which we already had out here, and we could go the modern counseling route, and that is to compromise. But I am talking to the social individual, and the compromise for that individual would be to not exercise their extroversion and not exercise their agreeability, which sounds like a terrible torture to ask you to do, and I'm not advising that at all. Not advising that at all. Some people might suggest that you do that. I feel like modern day counseling is a lot of promoting others to compromise, and that to me is self-sacrifice. That's basically forcing you to change your personality when I would definitely say it's not worth it. It's not worth it. To change your personality for a relationship is just not worth it. It's just forming into oppression, and that will bubble up if that's not your natural personality state. Yeah, if you're not in the romantic desperate energy, that's not going to work for you. It might work for you if you are, but I don't think it will. On the other side, we have the Nine of Swords again, and the Adolescent of Swords. So this is kind of like, well, it's kind of giving advice on, this is terrible. Definitely stuff to think about, but the advice isn't that good. It's all giving advice if you want to stay in this relationship. One, you would have, if you did the spell, basically, if you did a love spell, you would be rushing into sorrow. It will drastic things will happen. I do not suggest love spells. I do not suggest love spells because you're changing personality, and that it won't stick. It just won't stick. If it's not consensual and it's not their choice, it won't stick. If they don't go through the hard, you have to jump timelines to do that, which means that you have to go through some type of like spiritual, emotional, mental, even physical death, some form of that. And that's exceptionally painful for those who go through it. I've done it before, and I would not invoke that on somebody else. I would not do that. Well, you just don't know what the result is. Some people are not strong enough to go through that type of transition. So you could be casting them into an actual demise, or they might come out wrong. They might come out all kind of like messed up, very zombie-like or monstrous in some form or another. The only advice I can give you is to let it go. Find your justice by practicing your discernment. Understand, I would definitely look at this relationship, understand what it is that was attractive to you, and understand how that's different than compatibility. Obviously, it's not compatible. I would definitely look at this so that you don't fall into the same pitfall again. You're not looking for this type of person because it's causing you a bit of suffering. So much so that you wish to change the forces of nature in order to find some comfort in this relationship. And you need to be exceptionally powerful or exceptionally foolish to do that. Yeah. It might seem like a good idea, it might seem fun, you might break out some candles or whatever, but that stuff is supposed to be used on yourself, not on others. If it is used on others, it is you really cannot, like you the best you can do is wish the best for someone else. That is the only sorcery we do here. We wish the best for you. Um, and that may or may not be a type of transmutation. But whatever it is going to be your choice to do. Wishing you the best, wishing you all the best. I wish you alignment, basically. And sometimes you need to go through a transition in order to fall into alignment. So, and that can be hard, but if it's for your best, then it's for your best. But only you can discern that. You can't discern that for other people. Yeah. And like if you did a love spell, they could come out completely shed of all the characteristics that you fell in love with in the first place. All of those could be left behind. You don't know what's going to show up when they resurrect. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why it's best to wish people the best that you're not that's not in your circle. You can wish a stranger the best. Wish them the best. It's I would say the best thing to do whenever you're wishing someone the best is to wish your enemies the best. Then if they go through some type of transition or transmutation, either they'll turn out well or they'll fall apart. Either way, it's a win-win. Yeah, wish them the best. For them, wish for the best for them. Wish for them to get exactly what they deserve. That's a type of spell. That's the only spell that I condone placing on other people, wishing them to receive exactly what they deserve, which is honestly just allowing the universe, the goddess, to allow to happen what is supposed to happen. Let them walk this journey on their own. Which we all do in some degree or another, but yeah, just allow them to be. And if they at some point become better, they become better. If they never become better, then maybe they were never supposed to be better. The best, whatever is best for you. And just kind of sucking up and staying in the relationship sounds like, again, a terrible, terrible torture. I would not recommend it. So this is just a long-winded way of me to say that you know what to do, and that's to leave this person and to start dating again. Or move on to the next suitor if you have another suitor in mind. Yeah, I would start courting them. If you haven't already. Sorry, this thing is like cutting the circulation off my arm. That's better. Yeah, well, I believe that's all I have for you. I don't know why these cards are laying out like this. That's weird. 6, ooh. These are just cards that just didn't make it back into the deck. That's crazy. I guess they weren't meant to go into the deck. For my last reading. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, that's your choice, and I completely respect it. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you do not wish to have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, then again, that's your choice, and I completely respect it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you.